Today I'm joined by one of my, very close friend and also running partner, Jyoti Mishra. So Jyoti, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
And so again, just to remind you, Naperville Marathoners is a running group where we are based out of Naperville, which is southwest suburb of Chicago. We're about like a 40 plus year olds, recreational marathoners, recreational runners. We run every week and doesn't matter, we run throughout the year. And also we set our goals for the next year. So we run some of the marathons together, we train together, and we crush our goals together. So that's what we do as marathoners, and as well as like the why we are here, because our group consists of about 7 to 10 people, and every year, a lot of runners joining us. And the reason we started this group is because we are also mentoring and coaching at the same time, and also we share our lessons, like in what we learned from our previous marathons. A lot of people in our group have a lot of experience running marathons and like in other races, and we like to share with our newer partners and the new people who join us, and so that it will resonate with somebody and see like how we can train together again. So at the same time, also welcome other people who are willing to join us for the next season, and we can also at the same time coach, run together also. Or maybe somebody doesn't want to join us, somebody can listening to this podcast, they can also take some of the lessons that we learned as a team, and share those and see like how that can help with their own running journey. So with that one, I'll start again. This is the second episode. Thank you everybody for whoever subscribed to our channel, and also shared and like commented. So I appreciate all of that. So with that, I'll start with Jyoti. Jyoti, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Ratul. First of all, you are doing a great job by inspiring people to run marathons and doing this podcast. As far as I'm concerned, I work for Amtrak in my professional life. I had their analytics division. In my personal life, I live in Aurora, near Wabansi area. I've been running since last 5 years. Have done about four marathons, I would say, and then couple of 20 milers. So uh, around Fox Valley, Chicago area, and this year I tried Indianapolis. So it was different, but that's what I have done, and I really have started liking how to run, and I basically look forward to run with you guys every Saturday.
Great, great. So yes, I and Jyoti go a long time back, and almost like in a family, friends. That's what we are. But Jyoti, again, just to remind maybe our listeners or like anybody who is listening at some point of time, tell us a little bit about how you started your running journey.
So Ratul, I don't know if you know this story, but when I was a kid, in, I was a I was in Air Force school. So in a military school, they want people to really be very physically active, right? So uh, I was selected to run 800 meters in India. This was when I was in India, and I couldn't finish that. It was
Mhm.
a shame on my front. Like I couldn't finish that because, and I always thought that I should be able to run sometime, right? So I never ran in my life for more than 100, 200 meters. Uh, what happened then, Ratul? I met you, right? I met you, and then I started doing some small runs with you. Like you motivated. Like I always used to get tired. Like this was back in 2016, I would say, as 16 or 17, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, I would get tired within like 100, 200 meters, 300 meters, or maybe a mile at that time. And you would motivate me to run and see, and it will be normal. And I would follow you, I will run with you in all these trails we have near our house. Uh, that actually that 1 mile changed to two and two changed to five, and I really thought that I could do it. So it is a very interesting thing. In 2019, I signed up for Naperville Marathon, half marathon actually, I should say, in November. So what happened? I didn't have a watch, so I used to have my cell phone with me, and I don't know, the calibration of the cell phone was wrong, but I would run miles and it will say that I have run 8 miles, 9 miles. I said, oh my gosh. I'm not feeling tired. I ran 9 miles. So I could run 13 also, right? So let me just sign up for half marathon. And I just signed up and I was like, okay. And then I showed up for the half marathon and I started running in 2019, that half. And suddenly, after 6, 7 miles, I felt like, oh, you know what? I'm getting tired. This never happened in my training. And then I realized that basically my cell phone was giving me wrong numbers, right? It was not calibrated on that. So I finished up the run and I finished up in 2 hours, 15 minutes at that time. So I was like, okay, I could do it. My legs were all tired. It was all, all the first time half marathoners, like who don't practice much, but just go in the running. I had all those things, but that inspired me that I should run, right? I should run more. I should try it because 2 hour 15 is bad, but it's not like very bad, right? You could do better, right?
Not
So,
at
and
all.
again,
2 hours, 15
so
minutes, half marathon is pretty good to
yeah,
start with.
so I was like I can do more, I can do more, and suddenly COVID hit into 2020, right in March. Uh, I used to do the strength training quite a bit in gym. So one of the persons saw me and said that, you know what, in COVID everything is going to be closed. The only thing open will be the trails. So I heard you do half marathon, so will you join me for, because I do marathon and I've done like 20, 30. So it was part of like he also wanted to get motivated because everything was closed. So he wanted me to join him. So I joined him and really he pushed me. His name was Bill and he still works at Naperville and he tells me that, you can do it. He motivated me. And Ratul, I started with like 13, 14, I would say. My speed was 14 miles per hour and I would do slow and it was February and once I did like 11, 12 miles, I felt like I have achieved the world, right? I have achieved everything in the world, right? You get a runner's high, you get like you must, how good you feel. All the pressure in your mind gets released. That's the side effects of marathon. And these are good side effects. These are not something like all the stress in your mind gets released. And there was a lot of stress during the COVID, right? So that really helped me and that really motivated me to do something, right? And that's how, Ratul, I got into this whole marathon game of
Yeah, yeah.
running
So
every year.
that's good. That's very nice to hear the story. So just talk a little bit about, you said runner's high. When did you start feeling that? So that, and how did that change your running journey?
So runner's high, the way I think is that you feel really happy. You feel really top of the world, right? You feel that
When did you first feel that? Can you recollect that memory, or like,
I
going
I
back?
I, I actually, Ratul, yes, I when I ran the half marathon, it would have gotten in, but I didn't feel that. But when I felt was when I started training for the marathon in 2020 March. So every time I would run 7, 8, 9 miles, I would feel that I'm very relaxed, right? I'm like, it's like you get into a different meditation phase, but if I can say that, you feel so calm, right? You don't get bogged down by small things in the life, right? So it's really, you felt like in 2020 when I was practicing for marathon, every time on my big Sundays run, I would come back home. I really felt very calm. I didn't get irritated on small things, which I used to before, right? If certain things are not kept in place, you feel irritated. Small things, right? You don't feel irritated. You really felt that, it's okay. It's okay to be like this. It's okay
That's
to
so
be like
nice.
that. So that's what I call runner's high. And then what also did is that I felt like I was able to really do 12 miles. I was able to do 13 miles. By September, when I did the marathon, and this was a virtual because 2020 we were still in the COVID era, uh, did a virtual, and when I finished my 26 miles, I really felt that you could do things. I could do things. This really helped me personally. Now there are a lot of articles written around it that people feel that, but I really myself, I felt that basically. I felt that I can do a lot of things. When I say also runner's high, it means that you look a very positive aspect of the life. You look at a very positive aspect of the work, right? So
Mm,
apart from life, in the work things are sometimes it becomes very difficult, but you feel very, it gives the positivity towards your work, right? You think that if I put some effort, I will be able to do these things.
yeah.
You are never self-doubting yourself. That's what running helps you. apart from running, it helps you in your mental peaceness. So there is a lot of talk about mental wellness going around in this country, but I think, and I tell to my colleagues, I tell to my C-suite at the board that, every person should find some time to run. It doesn't have to be 26 miles. It doesn't have to be 13 miles. It has to be 10 minutes of running, right? And you
Yes.
will feel the difference, right? Push yourself, get out, and then do it. And you don't need all these mental wellness programs. It's okay to have those programs, but I'm saying that you will feel mentally very active. You will feel that you can achieve anything. Nothing is difficult. That's what I actually feel. That's what I call runners high, Ratul.
No, that is absolutely good, and that is so true. I think all of us at some point, felt the runner's high, and that kind of like it helps. In my life, I would say the same thing, like you shared. Like it helps me to, that energy or that feeling that you get, and when you're training for a marathon, you still have the runner's high. You're struggling through all of those things, but then you also apply those concepts, apply those things that you're learning during the training in other areas of life too. And
Yes.
I've seen, like in runners, usually they will not quit in other areas of their life also, because they know what challenge they face during the training of a marathon, right?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
heard that a lot of people, keep talking about that. So that's really good though. So one thing I wanted to ask, Jyoti, like, because again, for our listeners who are listening to this one, you're also a very good tennis player, right?
Yes.
You play pickleball, and there's so many things. So can you extrapolate this concept of runner's high to other areas of sports that you play? And how do you see that it helps to, like, challenge you, or on those pressure situations? How do you maintain that?
Absolutely. So, Ratul, you're right. I love playing tennis. I have been playing a league called Gladiator League, which is the biggest league in Chicagoland for last 6, 7 years now. Uh, any activity, if you are running and coming to the activity, it helps you. That's what I will say. Because in tennis also, this is a say that you cannot lose your concentration for a minute. Because if you
Mm,
lose, you will lose a point. That's what I have observed. Consider me playing tennis before the running and playing tennis after the running. Before running, also, I was good, I was not great. I was good in tennis in terms of like I would just hit some balls, and suddenly I would say, I would start thinking something else, and then I would lose the points. Right? What running has done is it has helped me in two things, in my pickleball game and in my tennis games. It has made me more athletic. So if people play drop shots in tennis, I can really go fast and pick it up. And when I play doubles and I play singles, so when I play doubles, my partner really depends upon me that he's an athletic guy, he will go and pick it up. So we can strategize based on that, like how we can play in the baseline and how we can play in the front and all that. Just because you have to be athletic, you can go there. But people who are not athletic, they will struggle going near the net and picking the ball. So
mm,
that's the thing. Other piece is also that on those pressure points where you are up maybe 40 love or 40-15 or 40-30, you really are in the game. You are concentrating that how I should win the set. Is
mm,
Earlier I would think that I'm already up and I will win it, and I will start thinking something else. Oh, which movie I'm going to watch tonight after the game. That is the kind of thinking which will come. And then suddenly you have lost the plot. And many games I used to lose, like after being up 4-0, I would lose the set by 6-4 or 7-5, whatever. But I would lose those. That's because the factor is
the
the
focus.
concentration.
Mm,
Concentration, right? The focus, exactly the way you
mm,
said. It's a focus. So running helps you in focusing on certain things, right? Right. So running, I will feel people say that yes, it's a very difficult thing to do running and tennis at the same time. But I feel that running helps me in tennis. Running helps me in focusing. So it goes back to you can focus on anything you do in a better way if you are a good runner, right? If I won't say good runner, if you are a runner, so you can focus on anything you are doing. It could be your work, it could be what you play, it could be how you are talking to your kids, how you are talking to your parents, how you are talking to anyone socially. That helps you, and it has helped me a lot. Really, I have really was a very not a very calm person. I used to get irritated on a lot of things. And I will tell you, and this is my experience, that I have become a very calm person, very understanding person, because of running. So
Yeah.
this is one thing I really don't want to give. Irrespective, I won't consider myself as a great runner. I have done marathons. I don't consider myself as a great runner, but I consider myself as a runner, which has helped me in achieving few things in my life. And that's my bigger goal.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think that's good. Like, as we can identify, like, because of running or whatever that is, right? It has helped me made more calmer. And, when you see the people around you start complimenting, or when you see, like, your better half, like, you see, like, all of a sudden things have changed or started changing, like, she appreciates more about what you're doing. I think, that something is helping, something somewhere is helping.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
we attribute to some of the things. And we all like full-time job, like we all have families and everything. And but how we bring all of those things together and still manage to run, and those things, that is absolutely, no, that's
And
absolutely.
that's what we call time management too, right? See, running helps you in time management, right?
Yeah.
So this helps in because everybody has so many things going on. So how you take time out from here and there and still able to achieve many things. You're setting an example for your younger generations, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, maybe go back to running a little bit. So tell me, like, when you first trained for a marathon, and now that you did it a fourth or fifth marathon, what did you think, like, you wish you knew that time that would have helped you?
So Rahul, that's a nice question you ask because there is a lot of learning every marathon gives you, right?
Mhm.
So here is my thing. Like I would run with a partner and he would always drink water after a couple of miles or take a gel after 1 mile. And he would tell me, why don't you bring water or why don't you bring gels with you? So I would like, why should I, right? My body has so much. I never knew the science of running. I never did any research. And I would just go on and I would run, right? So let the body do what it is supposed to do, right? Uh, Science doesn't say that, right? You lose all your energy after a few miles. I would do, and I would kind of suffer after 13, 14 miles, 15 miles, where I would develop cramps in my body and in my legs actually. And you will feel that you are huffing and puffing, is what we call in the running world, right? You are struggling to finish the run just because, in spite of you starting very fast, you are not feeling tired within the body, but your legs are tired, or maybe cramps have developed that is making you tired. So
Yeah, because of lactic acid buildup within the muscle.
because yes, absolutely, because of lactic acid buildup. And so what I thought was that, and then people used to say that if you have to run marathon, you have to run at least 2, 3 times a week, right? And I was like, I would run one or maximum 2 times, maximum I would say. Most of the time one before the big run on weekend, I would run one. And like, why should I run, right? Because I'm able to finish my big runs, and that is fine. But these are certain learnings I have. These are certain things I have learned as I have progressed, that you should listen to your body. You should listen to the experts who are doing this for many number of years on what they have learned. So I would suggest to all the runners, and this is what I have learned, that fuel yourself, right? Make sure that you are also talking to the experts who have done this, right? What they have done. It's not about your speed. Forget the speed will come as you train. It's all about how you can finish strong, right? How you can finish so that you can do other things after marathon too. It's not that you are almost dead at the end line and then 2, 3 days you are just sleeping on the bed. How you can finish strong and how you should be fueling yourself. That is the major most important thing you should know, that
Mm.
your body, you should understand the science behind the run. A lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people just wear the shoes and they just go into the trail and start running. I myself did that, right? So I am a culprit of that, and I have done that not 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but I have done it for 4 years. Only this year did I started fueling a little bit, maybe 3, 4 months ago. But that has made a huge difference. That
Mm.
has basically not, it helps you in not hitting that wall. People say that in marathon you hit the wall at certain number of miles. It doesn't allow you to do that because you are fueled, you are active, you are like, okay, I can achieve it, I can do it. So a lot of things you learn. One other thing is that I learned is that I always used to think that I will start fast, I will finish fast. That's not the story, right? It's a that there's a reason it's called marathon and not a sprint.
Yeah.
That you have to start slow and you have to finish fast, right? So that is number one learning. The second is again to your body will develop cramp. There is no one whose cramps are not developed. You have to fuel yourself. You have to take the right nutrition at the right time so that you are able to finish strong. So that is number two. If you are doing these two things and plus training, you will be able to achieve. There is no one stopping you. There is nothing that can stop you from achieving your end goal, whatever your goal is, right? So you will achieve that goal if you are doing these two, three things in the right way. So these are certain learnings, Ratul, and I'm looking forward that next year when I run, I'm able to fuel more, and I'm able to fuel at the start of the season rather than this season when I started fueling myself almost at the end of the season. So I'm thinking that one thing I learned from here is that I will start fueling from the beginning of the season so that the body gets adapted to, and I'm pretty sure that I'm expecting a lot of achievements because of that. That's what I'm expecting next year.
Yeah, that's good. So tell me, you just recently ran, the Indianapolis, the Monumental Marathon, right? So what is that you did different compared to last year? One thing, it sounds like, of course you did the fueling much better. Of course you did that. But is there anything else that you did that helped you finish much stronger? Because I looked at your picture, it looks like, you're smiling, and which looks probably like you did a much better job this time. But anything that you can share?
One thing I will share is that this time in Indianapolis, so the first thing was like the crowds were very cheerful, right? I had some, they were cheering you, and which happens in most of the marathon. But in Indianapolis, one thing I did was that I was trying to clap the hands of every cheer person who was
You're having
standing.
fun. Okay.
Having
Don't
fun.
get
Yes,
tense
exactly.
up.
And that's the right word,
Yeah.
Ratu. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
This time I didn't go to achieve a goal. I went to have fun. And when
Good.
you go to have fun, you will achieve your goal. So that's the reverse thing. We always try to achieve our goal and forget the fun aspect of the goal, right? Here I went for fun. I went for fun. My goal was that, in Indianapolis, I will meet the people from all over US coming and running, asking them questions in restaurant, in the streets, what they had done a day before, asking them what they have done to practice. I did that, and then I saw the people, and very charming people, very good people. They were standing, they didn't know me. I was from Chicago. No one knows me. In fact, no one knows many of the people. But they were cheering for me, right? They were saying that, hey, don't stop. Like you can do it, you can do it. And they were like throwing their hands in the air. There was one kid who started running with me for like from 22 to 23 miles. And these all helped, right? So these all like really helped me in finishing that. And as you said, this strategy in this marathon was also that I would fuel myself, right? So I really fueled myself, which kept that smile going. Because at 15 or 16 miles, that smile will go off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, can someone help me in finishing that 26? Didn't happen this time. So that was the difference, Ratul, this time.
Mm. No, that is absolutely good. And that, like you said, I think you did not go with any goal in your mind.
Yes.
And you just said, like, I just want to go and have fun and like meet the people and just enjoy it and see where it takes me. And that's probably the best thing, right? Most of the time we are so fixated on our goals. I gotta hit the space, and I'm like that too. Like, and I gotta hit the space, I gotta do this one, and looking at that way. But since you kind of like went ahead, just have fun. And I think that's what you got.
Exactly. Have fun and your goals will be achieved, right?
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
goals will be achieved. Goals will follow if you have fun. If you are stressed out, you are always stressed out that at what pace I'm running. Believe me that you are not enjoying the race. Enjoy the race. These are
yeah.
big marathons, right? A lot of people come on the streets, a lot of people run with you. Have fun, and goals is a side factor. It will get achieved.
Right. So you also said like you talked to a few people and you discussed with them any like maybe two or three things that you learned from them.
Yeah. So one thing I learned from them, like every person has their different story, right? Why they started running marathons. So I happened to, after picking up my babe, I went to PF Chang, a restaurant over there, and during that time, a day before the marathon, a lot of people, like the downtown was full with people who were supposed to run the marathon, right? So every restaurant was full. So I sat there. No, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone in that city.
Mm.
I That is the first time I visited Indianapolis. I went there. I sat in the bar, and there were a lot of people who were also like me. They also didn't know anyone. They were also sitting, and we started chit chatting. So I started asking like where they have come from, how they have trained. And you will find different variety of people. So I had a person who said that this is his third marathon of this year, and his timing was 3:20, 3:30. He would finish the marathon in 3:30, and that's the timing he was looking for tomorrow. And I was like, okay, let me ask what he did, right? So it's a different. I was not looking to finish in 3:30,
Mm,
but I wanted to ask, like, what did he do? How did he come to this stage? And he explained. One thing I learned from him is consistency, right? Be consistent. Don't train yourself during the winter month also. Don't give up, right? There is nothing. People say there is an off season of running, but take it as a pinch of salt. Keep running. You don't have to run at a high pace, but at least keep running so that your body is used to running. You
right.
can't go back again, start running in June and July and say that,
You're starting from zero.
exactly, you're again starting at zero, right? So that is one thing I learned. And also all these things about tempo running and everything, that person also told me that how they would train for 3:30 marathon. It has to be in the mind, it has to be a goal, and then you have to set the goal and then you have to work towards that goal. There were other people who were running for fun, like myself, right? So there were other people. So I was trying to ask their story, right? What made them run the marathon? And they said, "Oh, you know what? US. This was just last year. This year was Olympics month. I saw the Paris Olympics, and I looked at marathon. This is my first marathon. I'm so
Yeah.
happy to be here, and I want to finish it. And like there was just excitement build up. They were not looking at certain time. There was people who were looking for certain time. There were people who were looking for fun. You know what? I couldn't get into lottery in these big marathons, but this is a big marathon. There are 15,000 people running. I want to part of it. So I felt that look at these people. And everyone was happy, Ratul. Everyone was happy that they are doing something. There were families who came with them cheering for them. Everybody was happy because yes, you have goals, but also you have like I'm running for fun. So again, I'm telling you that I realized that okay, don't stress yourself. Don't stress yourself that I have to finish the marathon. This to whom you want to show, right? It's good. It's good for your perspective. But enjoy the. That's the thing I run. You enjoy the marathon, and these people finished within the good amount of time, Ratul. These people who I talked to, I also met them at the end line because they were also having fun. They were also some people were doing first marathon, some people were doing maybe 10th or 12th marathon, and they were all happy at the end of the day, and they finished within a reasonable time frame.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I learned. That enjoy the process.
Yeah, yeah. That reminds me of somebody said one time I was listening to maybe somebody talking and said like, we don't have to run. Nobody says
Yes,
like you have to run, but
absolutely.
we get to run.
We get to run,
So
and
there is a difference between that. Nobody told you that you have to run or something like that, right? We chose to run. Now, how we choose to run, that's entirely upon us, right? Whether we
yes,
get stressed out, and it's very, very difficult sometimes when you're running with a group like so many people, and everybody's posting their their runs on Strava. You're looking at all the pace and everything like that, and it's a oh wow, I don't want to post something which is like 12 minutes a mile, right? It might
yes,
feel like that way, but I think it's what marathon has taught me, or the running journey has taught me, that it's a journey. It's everybody's own personal journey, and
exactly,
it's not similar to anybody else. We might all run
exactly.
together. We might all be
Yes,
running together in a group on a Saturday or on the weekdays, but everybody has their own goal, own journey to get to all of those things. And sometimes,
yes,
like you say, I learned through talking to people that, oh, the importance of fueling, the importance of having fun, the importance of how I need to hydrate myself, how I need to fuel myself so that I don't feel bad. See, everybody learns it in a different, and that's the fun part. That's why I look forward to it, because everybody teaches something, right? And that's what we can incorporate. So I think that you said it in a very nice way. So that's really good though.
no,
So
absolutely, Ratul. I agree with you. That's you have to have fun. You have to have fun.
yeah,
The
and
Nobody
we have
tells
fun.
you what, and running helps you. It helps you in your health. Believe me,
Yeah,
it helps you in your health. It's not something like I love eating junk food, right?
yeah,
It's not like
yeah,
love eating junk food because that's not going to help you in your health. Running is something, if you love it, it's
yeah.
going to help you.
Correct,
Just
correct.
take it that way, that you
Yeah.
are putting an effort and it is going to help you.
Yeah, yeah. And well, throughout the year, we run in like in so many for friends together, and we all have fun. That's
Yes,
what it is though. Sometimes even though it's cold and winter and all of those things, but we're still having fun. And doesn't matter. We still go out there like at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's cold, but we're running.
We are
So
running. Yes,
I think
no.
it's more about the
Yeah.
community aspect of it, more about the fun aspect of, and share our like in the journeys and share our things. That is awesome. So that's pretty cool though. So what's next for you? What are you planning?
So, Ratul, now that I have run 5 marathons, uh, now is the time I'm thinking about, okay, how to move to the next level, right? And have fun also. Now, fun aspect will always be there. Have fun, enjoyment, and how to move to the next level. I don't have any timing set for me that, hey, I need to do this marathon and I have to finish in this timing. No, I'm not doing that. But what I want to do is that I want to do justification to the process, right? Justification to the process means that I want to run and run better than what I did this year. I
Hmm.
want to put that effort, I want to put that training in place, right? You can't, like how you teach your kids, you tell them that, if you have to score good, you have to put effort in that, right? You have to spend time on that. You can't just study a day before your exam and go and say that, oh, I got a B grade. Yeah, that's good, but
Yeah, not just hard work, but also smart work, right?
smart work, right? So
Right.
I'm looking forward this year to train, to do certain things which other people, yourself, have also asked me to do those things. So I'm looking forward to do those things and really have a very good run next year. Now, I've signed up for multiple things. I don't know, all are, most of them are for lotteries. So it depends upon, we'll come to know in December which we get selected to or not selected to.
Mm.
But one goal is pretty clear, that I have to run one marathon next year and I have to enjoy and I have to do better than what I did this year. How to do better is that how I will, in the certain steps, I will go ahead, I will train myself much better than what I have done in last 4, 5 years. All these 4, 5 years of learning is going to, I believe that it is going to help me, and I'm going to take support from people who have done this again and again. So I'm going to talk to them, I'm going to talk to you, Ratu, I'm going to talk to our community of folks who are running, and I'm going to take their advice. What should I do, what should I do next, what should I do next? Because yes, we have to go to the next level. That's what my own personal goal is. I will achieve it, I will be very happy. If I don't achieve it, yes, that's fine, it's not the end of the world. We will try again next year after that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's what I'm planning on doing, Ratu.
But can you just outline that goal a little bit, maybe a little bit more specific? Or so I'm going to run, okay, maybe a little higher mileage, or like I'm going to do a mix of like training. Any thoughts like that? But
So I'm going to so in terms of the end goal is to run a little faster than what I did, right? So I don't want to put a time like I would do a sub 4 or something like that. No, I won't say that right now, but I say I'm going to at least cut a minute per mile. That's what my goal is. Time will say whether I'm able to achieve it or not, but that's what able to. How I will do it is that I'm going to do a lot of, like, I have spoken to a lot of people, and I'm going to, starting December, I'm going to put some effort in training, uh, about running, strength training, and everything. And in 4, 5 months, I think I will see where I am, right? And whether I have to pivot onto a different strategy or whether I have to keep the same strategy. But in most probably by March, I will come to know how my strategy, which I have put in place in December, is working or not. By March, I will should be able to know. So, but rather, that is going to be a very constant, consistent effort from me starting December to basically try for cutting at least a minute per mile. It's a difficult thing. People think, oh, it's just a minute, anything can happen. But people who run marathon know it's not that easy, right? Cutting a minute from mile, it's a very big thing, right?
yeah,
So it may or may not get achieved, but I'm going to give my 100% effort
yeah.
in doing that, so that I can do something different than what I've been doing last 5 years.
Yeah, yeah. But one thing that I know we talked about it, right? So one thing is always helps, like increasing the mileage gradually. So like at like 10%, 10% like
Yes.
that every way. Once 10%, the body can handle that. And as you grow, ramp up 10%, 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and then you just cut down a little bit and then gradually go up. So that I would say definitely has helped me, in the past 1 year, 1 or 2 years of thing when I experimented with myself. And again, I did not know, I heard about it. That's what it is. But when I actually applied it, like, okay, this is what, let me try. And I was just curious to see how much I can push myself.
Yes.
And luckily, I would say, like, fortunately, like, and I was able to do it, without getting injured or anything like that. So I think it works. So I would say, like, something like that, maybe you can, probably think incorporating that. And I think another thing that you said, like, consistency, like in everywhere, always I heard, like, people who run, like, maybe fall marathons, they pretty much run throughout the year, it even
Yes,
depends, even in the winter, right? Whether
yes.
you're running on the treadmill or running outside, that's fine. But still, I think, we got to keep the consistency and the base mileage up a little bit, so that, we are not starting again from zero, I think. So that's definitely a good point. So
Absolutely. And that's what I say, that people who I talk to in Indianapolis, and you yourself know that strength training is also,
yeah,
especially on your legs. When we say strength training, we have to focus on which part of the body we have to train quite a bit. And that is where legs come in, right? Our quads come in, right? Because that has to be strong, because that's where my experience has been, that's what starts getting cramped when you
yeah,
start going big miles. So that has to be strong. So when
mm,
we talk about strength training, sometimes people think that, okay, we make our chest and we go for a chest pull and all. That helps. That's not saying that doesn't help. But we have to focus a lot, maybe 2 days at least, on your quads to make it very strong, so that cramping doesn't happen once you start doing the marathon.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's good. Anybody who is starting new to running, or anybody who wants to do better, what advice do you have for them?
Anybody who is starting new to the running, I will say, guys, don't give up. You start small, and as Ratul has said, increase 10%. Once you feel comfortable with your small mileage, increase 10%. Don't try to run 26 miles on your first run. You will not be able to do it. Let us be very clear. People think I have a lot of energy, I can do it. Don't try for that. Don't try for 13 miles also. Try 1 mile. Why 2 miles? Try 3 miles, 5Ks, right? Start participating in those 5K races, right? That will give you a goal to prepare for 3.2 miles, right? And then, so start doing that, see what your timing is, and start increasing from 5K further. It is, it is again, it's a marathon for a reason. It's not called a sprint, because it takes time to
Yeah,
get to that goal. So that's the advice I'm going to give. Don't give up. Try increasing your mileage and try getting that 5Ks and 10Ks done. That's what your small goals starts from. Small goals. Again, listen to your body. You will get injured, because if you are running for the first time, your IT band will suffer, because body is not used to running that big miles. It's okay. Take some rest. It's just a message body is giving to you that slow down, take some rest. It will recover itself. You don't have to have big pain medications and all with you. Body itself will recover. I have gone through that process where my IT band has suffered, my calves have suffered. It feels like it's the end of the running or end of the world, but it's nothing like that. Give it time, the body will heal itself, and then you are back in the path. Don't try to challenge your body.
yeah,
It will heal itself, and then be back in the trail, and you will be running fine. There is a lot of things which has happened, Ratul, in the last 5 years. COVID has happened. We all have gone through. We all have had COVID. We still couldn't run for 3, 4 weeks. We felt that this is the end of the running, because I have lost 4 weeks of my running exercise. But
yeah,
things again go better, right? You will again go to where you were. So don't think that that's the end of the world. That's what I will tell to the first time runners. Do this. And again, listen to your body and listen to the experts who have done this. Who, you should know how to fuel, you should know how to take salts, you should know how to hydrate. These are the 2, 3 things that is going to add. So listen to the experts. There is a reason why we call experts, because they have done this n number of times. So they have had the experience. So listen to them and take their advice and do these things.
okay. Now that's very good. That's absolutely good, though. So before we wrap up, like, how can people connect with you if they need to?
Rather, we can, I can be connected again. I'm in social media. That is a social media. That is one place. The other place is, absolutely, they can be part of our group. Right, we have a Naperville Marathoners group. So just reach out. We have Ratul. He's the person who we follow. So I will say to those people, just go ahead and you can uh, connect with him, and he can get us connected. Other, I have a email address they can use. I can post it. That's how we can get connected. Or we run it in the we all of us, all these people, all of us, we run big miles. I won't say marathon every day, but we run big miles on every Saturday. We have a community of 30, 40 people who run, right? And when the summer happens, a lot of other people from our World Vision group joins us. So we all meet at either Knoxnall Park or whether we meet at North Aurora Island Park. So we just come in there and you will find, and it's a great bunch of people. Believe me, guys, whoever is listening to it, I myself look forward to these guys who
Yeah,
run every day.
absolutely.
And these people will make you motivated. Again,
Yeah,
you don't have to compete with anyone. As Ratul has rightly said, everybody has their own story of running. You don't have to compete with everyone, but that will give you a motivation. If you are running and walking 3 miles, believe me, if you run with these guys, you will run 3 miles. You are
yeah,
not going to walk 3 miles.
yeah.
So without these guys, you may end up walking. So these are the different places. Email, get in touch with the group, meet us in the community running at the Knoxnall Park. That's how people can get along with us.
Great. No, thank you so much. It's great chatting with you, Jyoti. And I know there's a lot of stories left, but it's wonderful to hear where your running career, running journey started, and like in how you enjoy running. And I always like, one thing that I always, talk to people like, it's because you love running. You enjoy running. You don't care about the timing or anything, and you are very, very athletic. You play so many sports. You still find time to run, and then your last minute decision to like almost run the Monumental Marathon, which was like a complete surprise for most of us. But you did really great. So it's awesome. Thank you so much, and look forward to running with you again next year. And thank you everybody again from Naperville Marathoners. I and Jyoti saying bye, and
Bye
hope
bye.
we'll meet again like within another episode. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you so much, Ratu. Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.